Hey guys, today we're chatting about Rawlings speed shell technology. We're going to talk about if it's cool, if it does anything, and if it's right for you. So stick around, it's going to be a fun one. Okay, the Rawlings speed shell. It's been around for a little bit of time. It is going to be this material that's on the back of some Rawlings fielding gloves. They remove the leather, the traditional leather that'll be on the back of the finger backs, and instead they replace it with a microfiber material. It almost kind of looks like a little bit of carbon fiber. It's got a little bit of like a plasticky feel to it. If you've never seen a speed shell, I definitely recommend at least checking it out. It is quite cool when you see one for the first time. But the reason that they do this, there's actually a few reasons. The main one's going to be a weight savings benefit to the glove, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. We're going to weigh some gloves and see exactly how much the speed shell takes out in terms of weight. And then of course, strictly aesthetics. So we have two fielding gloves here. These are identical. These are both the same pattern, 200 pattern, 11.5 eye webs. So aesthetically, it's just going to be personal preference. I actually kind of like the speed shell on this specific model. Some models I really don't care for the speed shell on. It just really comes down to personal preference, which is the great thing about baseball gloves. There are so many gloves, so you're bound to find one that suits what you're looking for. Now the speed shell, in addition to fielding gloves, is also available on some outfield models as well. So this is going to be a 303 pattern with a speed shell, and then we have an identical glove, 303 outfield, without the speed shell. And my kind of suspicion before we weigh these is that you're going to see a greater weight savings benefit on these outfield models just because they're bigger, they're heavier, and there's going to be more leather removed with that speed shell material. So that's kind of my hypothesis. So let's check it out. Let's weigh these gloves right now and see what the speed shell does. Okay, let's start off weighing the infield heart of the hide models. Now the scale is going to read in grams. This is going to be the traditional full leather heart of the hide. We'll set it down. It is showing 590 grams. Now let's check out the heart of the hide with the speed shell backing. It is 556. So a little bit of a difference, not a ton, but what I want to do now is compare it with the outfield versions to see maybe a bigger glove might have a bigger change. So let's start off with the traditional full leather heart of the hide outfield model. That's showing 707 grams. Now the heart of the hide with the speed shell, 617. So definitely a little bit more of a difference with the outfield model. So it makes sense. Bigger glove, more speed shell, more weight savings. Okay, so kind of like what we were thinking, the outfield glove did have a little bit of a bigger weight savings benefit when we compared the traditional to the speed shell heart of the hides, which for outfielders, that might be an interesting option for you. You know, your glove's not going to see as much abuse or as much use maybe as an infield model. So having something that's more lightweight, you know, easy to run and track down balls in the gap with, that might make a lot of sense. Now, when we talk about comfort, it's going to be, of course, gloves are kind of personal preference, but the speed shell is a little bit, I don't want to say more comfortable, but it does have a different feel to it in the sense that there's no leather back here. So it does feel a little bit, generally more broken in straight away, and just kind of feels a bit different. So if having a glove that doesn't require a lot of break-in is important to you, that's another pro for the speed shell. Now, durability, it's going to be a little bit tough to say. Just because, as you know, a glove is only so good as you take care of it. So if you're, nice on your gloves and you care for it, you're not going to have any big durability issues with the speed shell. But that's just the nature of any glove. You got to take care of it. Now, the speed shell is available. These are both black, but there are tons of different colors for the actual speed shell material. And then the actual aesthetics or the colorway of the glove, there's tons of different options. So I think if you're looking for a lightweight glove specific to maybe the outfield, definitely check out a speed shell. If you don't really care about lightweight, but you want something that's really easy to break in, maybe also the speed shell. But if you don't want something lightweight and you don't, really care about breaking it in, from that point, it's just aesthetic. So it's whether you like the aesthetic of the speed shell or maybe you just want a traditional heart of the hide. It's entirely up to you. But regardless, we have tons of options here at Baseball Monkey. So if you want the speed shell or you want a traditional heart of the hide, we definitely have it all. So I encourage you guys to check out the website. Now, if you have any questions on the speed shell, or maybe you've used a speed shell in the past and want to share your thoughts, definitely leave them in the comments. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.